Do you want to learn how to be a producer, DJ, on-air talent, or influencer? Visit beonair.com and discover a media school that's changing the game. We have 7 campuses across the country, and you can graduate in as little as 8 months. No math or English classes here, just classes that interest you and give you hands-on experience with real-world professionals in the media industry. And there's financial aid available for those who qualify. Stop sleepwalking through life. Show up for your dreams. Visit beonair.com and take the free career assessment. beonair.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats for the playing of your national anthem. At this time, we proudly welcome the Barker Williams American Legion Post 609 Color Guard, presenting the colors this evening, Doug Davidson, Lynn Campbell, and Larry Sturt. They will now present the colors in honor of our nation, its service, members, and all who have defended our freedom. Please remain standing for the national anthem.
Welcome, everybody. High school playoff action right here on CVC TV. The matchup tonight, the home Kirtland Hornets taking on the visiting Smithville Smithies. On ChagrinValleyConference.com, Kyle Cornell, AA Anthony Alford with you, as always, on the call tonight in AA, a matchup that may seem a little bit familiar. These two teams battling last year in the playoffs in the first round. Kirtland dominated that matchup, looking to try to do the same today, but the Smithies got some youth and some more experience on their side as they go into this matchup.
Yeah, definitely more experience coming into this game compared to last year, and, Smithville's doing some great things. We'll talk about them here in a little bit. I was reviewing a little bit of the tape from our game last year between these two teams during the pregame, and they met in the second round. It was, a blowout victory for Kirtland, but it was scoreless after the first quarter. Kirtland scored 33 points in the second quarter. So it came from, a couple of critical turnovers, some 3-and-outs. So I think some of that is very, very important when you think about what is at stake here for this game.
Talk about the road to get here. Kirtland, of course, had the first round bye. They're the 1 seed in Division 6 Region 21. This is the semifinal matchup in the region. Beat Wycliffe last week 41-3. Remember, we had that game earlier in the season, the regular season matchup with the Blue Devils. They dominated that game as well, 55-0. So Kirtland rolling through. In fact, they've rolled pretty much all season long. Kirtland, 11 games, 11 wins by 20 points or more. This has been one of the most dominant regular and now postseason performances we've seen under Tiger Laverde going into this matchup tonight.
Man, we kind of talked a little bit about the new playoff format, and like this go around, they had rest, in that first week of the playoffs. So a couple of guys were banged up, including the quarterback, Jake Laverde. He was banged up, missed a couple games, came back last week. So like those things are huge. Talking about the health, and they just overpower teams on the ground week in and week out. It makes it really tough to beat Kirtland.
Well, again, talk about the senior quarterback Laverde, of course, making his return last week after missing the second half of the season with injury. And they were buoyed, though, by the two running backs. We know John Silvestro and Ty Bledsoe, number 3, number 4. Obviously, Silvestro, huge game last week, over 1,600 yards, 28 rushing touchdowns this year for Silvestro. Bledsoe, 1,000 yards in his own right, too. Fantastic season. We saw him have a great game against Perry on this field earlier this year as well, where he just blew up some big plays that Bledsoe, as the Hornets now take the field. And again, this is the coach Tiger Laverde's team, and has really just been battle-tested year after year after year. They always seem to be in the spot AA. They're trying to get to their 8th straight state title game this year, but it starts again tonight in the second round matchup.
Yeah, well,
third round, technically.
This third round match, this is their second playoff game.
Yeah.
See, it's new for them too. But it's new in the sense of the format, but they've been here, so many times in this round, so many times. I believe it was 16 straight appearances in this round in the regional semis. So that is huge. I mean, you're essentially competing against yourself, but again, it's going to be very, very critical, if you are Smithville, that you got to come out strong, come out aggressive, be smart with the football, and give yourself an opportunity, give yourself a chance.
Up in a couple big wins for Smithville, too, in the playoffs. Finished 8-2, third place in the Wayne County Conference, a tough conference south of us. And again, 27-26 win over United last week on a 2-point conversion to end the game. Also, the week before, they beat a different CVC team, Cuyahoga Heights, 28-24. So 2 playoff wins by a total of 5 points for the Smithies. They got some momentum on their side now going into this game tonight, AA.
Yeah, right down to the wire. And, they look good. I watched the film against Cuyahoga Heights. They look really good again down the stretch. They are a battle-tested team.
So Kirtland will kick off to start the ball game. It's going to be Isaiah Lee, who you're going to hear a lot of tonight back there to return, as well as Ben Beckler for the Smithies. And there's the boot, kick down the field, and we're underway from Wilson Stadium, taking it at the 5-yard line. Good return up the seam, lowering the shoulders. Again, Beckler just moving his way down to the 45-yard line, and that is where the Smithies will begin. And again, a bit of a mix of quarterback this year. You're going to see some Brady Seidel tonight, sophomore quarterback. Also may at some point see Brock Cannon, depending on how he is feeling. Up and down season for Cannon, too, and maybe one of the best names we've seen from last year as well. But going to be fun offense to watch tonight.
Yeah, and we will for sure see in the backfield Mason Haynes, number 44, all-time rushing leader in school history.
Going to be a pitch to the outside. It's a good carry for Lee on the outside. He can make some plays, but he stopped. Good tackle out there by Kaprowski, who got to the outside and held that one at bay. Only a minimum gain of about 2 for the Smithies.
But you mentioned Lee coming into this game, 7 touchdowns, rushing, 383 yards on the ground. And you could also see Lee, receiving the ball too.
Leading receiver, got over 600 yards through the air. Been the main target. What a year it's been for the sophomore Isaiah Lee. So sophomore quarterback, sophomore receiver / running back. Seidel in that shotgun again. Lee in motion, rolling out to his left, looking, throw, short pass. That one is caught by Lee, cuts upfield, going to get down to the 40-yard line. Well, toss and catch, and the Smithies moving the ball, passing and running.
Yeah, and this is the ideal start. You want to get this defense off balance, and that's a good way to go about it. And again, you got to respect Lee, on the ground, through the air, receiving the ball too. Huge start here for Smithville.
You call it about roughly a 14-yard gain, going to move the chains. First down for the Smithies. And now again in the shotgun, looking to pass, rolling to his right, throws. That one's going to be intercepted. Tried to throw a little touch pass, and Mario Lorber was right there and got it for Kirtland.
I wonder if quarterback, let's watch here. Oh, he should have went to Hines right there. Pump fake, and the defense read it perfectly. It was a lot of traffic. And that was what Kirtland did against this team last year, creating turnovers after huge momentum plays and, missed opportunity after you had 2 successful offensive plays.
Well, again, good kick return, too. Got down to the 45, got a first down in the Kirtland territory, and then turned the ball over. So now Jake Laverty and company going to get things moving. This Kirtland offense. Be a handoff inside. A solid gain of about 6 yards.
We're going to have a late flag, Kyle. Extracurriculars.
Yeah. Getting a little into that as Silvestro had the carry, and we'll see what this one is. And that's going to be against the Smithies to move the ball onto the other side of the 50. A personal foul and sportsmanlike conduct. A little bit of extracurriculars, double I mentioned, going to give Kirtland flipping the field here.
Yeah, obviously, it's those little things in the playoffs, of course, emotionally charged game. That's tough.
So first down for the Hornets. Maybe a keeper outside, Laverty trying to move through, and he gets torn down. Tell you what, Lee got out there. Didn't let Laverty get much, maybe a gain of 2 or 3, but a good job on the outside by Isaiah Lee to control that ball and only give up a couple yards.
Yeah, good containment by Lee, and good job on defense recognizing things. But again, this is, for Kirtland, this is a 4-quarter effort. I mean, this is not going to be just, one play and they're just going to abandon this. Like, you got to sustain that kind of momentum all 4 quarters.
Second down and 8. Outside the 40-yard line of Smithville. Silvestro in motion, going to leave Laverty by himself, looking to pass. Throws, takes a shot, right side. It's caught, and he's gone. Tommy Kamey goes in. 40-yard touchdown pass from Jake Laverty, and Kirtland strikes first.
The one thing you cannot do is get caught looking in the backfield if you're the defense. And Laverty, just his arm strength, Seaver beat out the defense, beat out the secondary to get the score.
Flag came in late. Maybe some unsportsmanlike conduct, possibly some celebrations happening down in the end zone. Looks like the touchdown should stand, and it will.
In the story of last year's playoff game, points off of turnovers, Kirtland gets the interception. Got 6 points as of right now.
Xavier Lisecki going to line up the extra point attempt. Robocall.
Is that your phone?
It was.
Oh.
Just goes to show you, even if it has 7 o'clock on a Friday, you still get robocalls. The extra point is up, and it is good. Kirtland, 7-0 lead over Smithville as they strike first right here on CVC TV. And hey, speaking of us, our presenting sponsor is the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Doctors Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Jill Weber. They handle everything from dental surgery and implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. For all of your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website at www.ohsurgery.com. Also want to thank our friends over at Greenie Sports Cards, the largest producer of sports card trading shows in Northeast Ohio. Has 5 locations, and they're growing. Their next show, Friday, November 28th at the Woodside Event Center in Broadview Heights. It's the first ever Black Friday show. And you can see all their shows online at greeniesportscards.com. Well, what a start for Kirtland AA. The defense looked like maybe it was going to bend a little bit, but they ended up forcing a turnover. A couple plays later, huge touchdown pass from Jake Laverty to Tommy Kamey.
And man, I mean, is it possible to say, like, oh, a senior quarterback just improves dramatically every single time you see him? I mean, just the arm strength was there, and you got to respect him as a runner, too, and that's what makes Kirtland dangerous.
Just really fantastic for the Hornets. More of the same of what we've seen all season long. Remember, every game, 11-0, they've won each by 20+. A line drive kick taken in at the 35-yard line. Some good field position maybe coming for the Smithies. Good tackle in the open field there. That was Matt Russ, sophomore, who's been getting some playing time on special teams and defense, and got some carries throughout the year this year as well. Big hit.
Yeah, that was a great tackle. He worked off of a block to make that tackle.
So the challenge, of course, now is having a younger quarterback in this spot against a team like Kirtland, who just so dominant. First down for the Smithies. Maybe a keeper. Seidel turns down, lowers his shoulder, and gets down to the 45-yard line. Solid gain of 8.
Yeah, did a great job there, recognizing the defense and taking a higher percentage play. Good work.
You mentioned someone we were supposed to keep an eye on today, and we should, Mason Haynes. Remember, for 1,300 yards this season on the ground. He's been the workhorse of this group. But no carries yet. Only a second drive, still plenty of time to get involved. He's on the left hip with Seidel now. Second down and short on the other side of midfield. Gonna be a handoff. Lee working his way through. He should have enough. Looks like he just got past the marker, so first down for the Smithies.
And as much as Haynes has done, for this offense and for the school to have the record, it was Isaiah Lee that got 4 touchdowns against Cuyahoga Heights. Like, again, another weapon on the field.
Just finding ways to get him the football. He's already got a couple carries, got a catch, 2 first downs. Smithies trying to get on the scoreboard here. It's going to be a keeper. Seidel the outside. He had nowhere to go. Solid tackle breaking through on the outside for Chase Gron, the senior, who just did not let Seidel get through. So maybe back to the line of scrimmage. It looks like maybe they lost maybe a half a yard double A on that carry.
They did, and Gron did a great job of recognizing, the play there, and he stuck with it. That's a tough play to make defensively because you can easily get sucked in the backfield. But he did a great job identifying and sliding with the ball carrier, making a play.
Second and a long 10 inside the 45-yard line of Kirtland. Seidel rolling out to his right, looking, gonna pump once, little shovel pass. No, he takes it, throws it again. That one is caught.
Wow.
What a ball. Across the field. Big catch out there for Javon Wodarski. One of the seniors on this team, listed as a running back, but makes a big catch.
It's the second week in a row we've seen a quarterback roll out in danger, basically on the sideline to throw, and receivers staying connected with their quarterback.
Huge completion there, and a first down for the Smithies. Keeper up the middle, and Seidel able to maybe get a few on that play.
Again, this defense, obviously, you're going to get tested here early on. Just got to continue to be smart, be aggressive, quickly identify what the guards are doing if you're up front, and attack.
Second down and 8. Smithies starting to move the football here. Remember last year in this game got shut out, trying to avoid that screen pass outside, nowhere to go. Oh my goodness. Blown up immediately in the backfield. Sebastian Becker, we've called his name a few times earlier this season, AA, just right on that screen.
And the defense did a great job because, again, you saw there at the bottom of your screen, that was pretty much a stacked trips. There were the receivers lined up on top of each other, and the defender did an unbelievable job identifying that play.
Well, from 2nd and 8 to 3rd and 16. Now for the Smithies here. Tough to get 16 yards on Kirtland at any point. In motion, that ball is low. It's going to be picked up by Siddell, trying to step up now in the pocket. Rolls through, throws. That one's incomplete. And is there a flag that comes in? I don't see one. There was some contact around when the ball went over the head of his intended receiver. But no flag comes down the way, so 4th down should be coming up for the Smithies.
Yeah, that's a tough play to make, too. I thought, that could have went either way, but, man, again, a lot of pressure that Kirtland was bringing there defensively, and a huge critical 4th down right now. What was it, 4th and 16?
4th and 16 on the 27-yard line of Kirtland. This is now 2 straight drives that the Smithies have been able to get into Hornets territory, but really tough spot. Another fumbled snap, rolling out to his right side, out looking, throws, cross the field. It's up, and it's incomplete. Trying to make the completion on the roll, rolling to his right-handed quarterback, just couldn't find that one in. Kirtland forces a turnover on downs.
Yeah, and 2 straight plays where you had low snaps, and it's so tough because that disrupts timing, on the offensive side of things, and you cannot. It's tough because, again, Kirtland's coming right at you. So that's tough. But great stops, again, for Kirtland defensively after being tested.
Just under halfway through this first quarter, 7-0 Hornets. And now the defense, both times, first time forcing a turnover, this time turnover on downs. The offense taking back over just past their own 25-yard line. Laverty going to line up under center. Going to pitch, Silvestro outside. He's got a corner. Silvestro turns upfield. Still going through a man off and got down. Somewhere around the 40-yard line is where he's pushed out. They're going to say about the 39. Run by Silvestro.
Kyle, that is not fair. I mean, that offense, this is one of the toughest offenses, not just talent to go up against, but the scheme of you got legitimately 3 or 4 ball carriers that can run the football at any point.
The handoff, Silvestro up the middle this time, lowering the shoulder, pushing through. And the ball came out. It's picked up by the Smithies. Going back upfield. Breaking through, it's Lee. He got it. Touchdown. Silvestro lost the football, and Lee returns it.
There was never a whistle either. That's a live ball. The officials let it keep going. Let's watch. And he lost it right there, right at the hip.
He had it through the first bit of contact. The second bit trying to lunge forward, lost the football. Lee picks it up, and it was like shot out of a cannon into the end zone.
And that's what happens when you got defenders like right there underneath and your knee's not down yet. It's still a live ball, and you can get somebody to punch that thing out. Exactly what Smithville needed.
So huge extra point on the way, 7-6. It is up, and it is good. Smithville's offense lets them down 2 straight times, but the defense steps up, forces a turnover, gets 7. And we have a tie ball game here at Wilson Stadium.
They got to stop the clock, by the way, on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll correct that. Speaking of correcting things, hey, transform your property with a fence from R&T Fence Company. Family owned for over 36 years. They provided top-notch fence installation services across the area. Specializing in residential, commercial, and industrial fencing, they offer a wide range of options, including aluminum, vinyl, wood, and chain link. You can call 330-626-5170 for a free estimate or visit rtfence.com. Whether you need a new fence or a custom gate, trust the experts at R&T Fence to deliver quality and professionalism. That's rtfence.com, your fencing solution.
Something that did not happen in this game last year. Smithville using their defense to create scores. Man, that's huge.
Well, there's the one area we've said with Kirtland this year, they do put the ball on the turf a few times.
Too many times to be comfortable.
And again, they've been lucky. A lot of the times they've been able to recover those fumbles. Not too many turnovers overall this season, but that time not as fortunate. And Smithville able to capitalize. A low line drive kick. That one's tipped.
Fall on it.
And it's still loose. I think Kirtland may have got there.
Oh, man.
Tell you what, my goodness, Becker almost didn't pull that one in, and it's going to stay Kirtland football, and there was a huge groan on the home sideline. Some nervous energy that not too used to. I think if you go back maybe to the Perry game was the last time Kirtland really felt the pressure of a game, and that was a long time ago in the regular season, back when it was still warm out.
Yeah. That I almost laughed because it snowed earlier in the week, and we don't have that today, thank goodness.
Well, tomorrow it's going to be 60, so there you go.
But, yeah, you're right, though, about the fumbles putting it on the ground. The 2 games we've had this year, several fumbles. They've just been lucky to recover them.
It's a tie ball game. 5:06 to go in this first quarter. Outside, Silvestro making up for it now, running through, going to get taken down just around the 35-yard line. Beginning of about 8s for Silvestro.
I like the play call by Tiger Laverty. It's like, hey, one of my leaders made an error. Let's give him the football, make up for it.
Laverty right back under center. Not much there. Just trying to get that first down. Laverty just taking a QB sneak, and he does move the chains.
Did the job. And now Kirtland wants to speed this up tempo.
Trying to get the defense out of rhythm. Pitch to the outside. That one's Bledsoe. He tries to turn upfield. Not much there. First time we've called Bledsoe's name tonight. Another 1,000-yard rusher.
Yeah, Bledsoe's been impressive. But I'll tell you what, I know the first defender that made contact's not going to get credit for the tackle, but that did just enough to kind of get the rest of the defense over to Bledsoe to make that first play.
Tell you what, he still managed to get about 4 to 5 yards on that carry. It looked like he was tackled almost behind the line, but just able to put the shoulder pads down and move through. Both Bledsoe and Silvestro, 1,000-yard rushers this season. Laverty looking to pass. Hesitates, throws up top, tipped in, off the back of Lee, who was flexing when the ball was still alive. It was great coverage, but he may have been able to put those hands out and just let it fall into him. Instead, it's going to be 3rd down on the way for Kirtland.
Yeah, the defense that time communicated. Of course, I thought there might have been a receiver on the seam that you could have went to a little bit deep, but, a lot of action up front there, so maybe Laverty just didn't see it.
They try to take a shot to Becker here on the near side, and double covered, tough window to throw. But again, just celebrating before the play's done. That could have been another huge turnover for the Smithville defense, and Lee had no one in front of him if he was able to pick that one off.
Yeah, that would have been a house call. Could have been.
Now Kirtland gets a chance on 3rd down. Laverty in the shotgun. Plenty of time. Play blown dead. Feels like maybe there was timeout, and it will be from the Smithies on this key 3rd down. Smithville takes their first timeout of the first half. 3:47 to go. 7-7 right here on CVC TV. Well, if you have an unwanted guest in your home, contact Alpha Animal Removal. That's right. It's past Halloween, so they even specialize in the humane removal of bats. They are in Northeast Ohio, and believe it or not, they do stick around past October 31st. So if you want to get those out or possibly even seal your home to help prevent any sort of animal entry, contact Alpha Animal Removal. They even help clean, remove, and sanitize your attic and replace insulation after animals have infested it. Of course, you can go to alphaanimalremoval.com to solve your animal infestation or, in some cases, your bat problem.
Of course, I love the timeout because obviously understanding how critical this moment is right now, you're really telling your safeties too, don't get caught looking in the backfield. Communicate what you're seeing. Obviously, Kirtland's going to look for something deep here.
Now Becker in that backfield with Laverty. It's a QB draw. He rolls up the middle, trying to get to the first down. He's going to be short. Tackled at the 45-yard line. Only a gain of about maybe 3 to 4 yards. Actually, about the 44 is where it looks like the line judge has this set. And there's an injured Smithy who's getting picked up almost on the field. He looks like he's going to be okay. So Laverty, bit of a draw there. It's going to be forcing now a 4th down. And Laverty does handle some punts, too, for Kirtland if they decide to go that way.
But it becomes a little bit dangerous here. I mean, it's right here in
You
midfield.
always, anytime you have a quarterback who does the punting duties, too, and he can be a running quarterback, you have to be ready. Because if he sees something when he takes that snap, I mean, they'll take off. They'll just go.
But I'll just say, 3rd down, that was well coached there defensively. Great scheme, keeping guys in that box.
So, again, Laverty lining up under center. Looks like they're going to go for this. Play blown dead. Timeout, Kirtland. Looks like maybe they just tried to draw him off sides there. Still had 10 seconds to go on the play clock. But nevertheless, Coach Laverty calling a timeout. Didn't like the look, didn't like what he saw. And the Hornets will talk this one over because this is a key early fourth down situation. We saw, obviously, Kirtland's defense step up and force a turnover on downs. Could Smithville do the same?
And I like what you just said here a moment ago, like the look. Like sometimes you roll out an offense on fourth down just to see, is there a favorable defensive look? Because you put the right look out there, and they didn't like it. And it's the first half. It's not really overly a big deal to burn a timeout. So you punt the football.
And that's what they're going to do. The ball going to get punted away. Lee is back. And we've seen how fast he can be. High punt, perfect punt. It's going to be fair caught by Lee at about the 20-yard line. Couldn't ask for much more from Silvestro, who punted that football away. I'm on the verge of tag team that punting role over the past couple of years now. It's almost like they do the Spider-Man pointing who's going to punt it or not. But now Lee's going to take the ball and smartly fair catch that AA School of Special Teams. Make sure you just catch the ball and don't do much.
You have to take care of the football in the playoffs. I mean, every game you get to, but especially the playoffs. I mean, one possession literally can be the difference between winning and moving on or going home.
All right, so first down for the Smithies offense. Chance on this drive if they can get into the end zone to take a lead here against Kirtland. Lee in motion. Handoff. There's Haynes, his first carry. Maybe a couple yards on that. Mason Haynes, again mentioned coming into the broadcast tonight, nearly 1,350 yards on the ground. What a season. All-time leading rusher in Smithville school history. Trying to enforce his will, a gain of about 3 to 4 on that play.
Again, 5'8", 195 pounds. He is a built young man.
Second down. Another handoff. Haynes up the middle, lowering his shoulder, getting near the 30-yard line. See where they mark that ball down. And it could be about 2 yards short, so third down and short on the way.
And this is, again, getting your offensive line going. If you're Kirtland, of course, defensively, digging in, and again, the same deal for their secondary. They can't get caught in the backfield.
Seidel in the shotgun. Turns. He's going to keep it himself, go to the outside. Seidel going to get torn down. And I think he should have it. He will. First down. Needed 3, got about 3.5 to 4, and moves the chains. So Smithville's been able to get some first downs on offense, but they just stalled on the Kirtland side of the field.
Well, and again, just the broken tackle. Like initially, you had to tail back down and was able to break out of it. Again, the strength, upper body strength. And again, he just joined us. You know, this matchup last year, it was 0-0 after the first quarter. Like this team plays Kirtland well.
It was the second quarter, as Double A mentioned in the pregame, 33 unanswered points for the Hornets. They ended up winning that game 39-0. Only meeting in these schools' history. Keeper out the middle for Seidel, and he'll get to about the 35-yard line, give him about 2 yards on that carry.
And just trying to maintain that discipline. I'm curious, again, on the offensive side, you know, rotating between Haynes and Lee. Like, that's how that's going to operate as this game goes on.
Well, we've seen Seidel actually have 5 carries. He's got more than both Lee and Haynes combined.
That's
so
a good
far
point.
In this first half. I imagine that number will change at some point. But nevertheless, 2nd and 8 for the Smithies. Another keeper for Seidel. He's going to work up the seam on the inside and get near midfield. What a carry for the sophomore quarterback. Solid gain of about 13, and he moves the chains again.
Absolute athlete, right? And if you get the blocking that you need and sealing off the tackle, like, you can move the offense down the field.
And how important this is for his growth. Coming into Kirtland, a tough place here at Wilson Stadium, and so far had the interception but still holding his own. First down, handoff, Haynes. He lowers his shoulder. Here comes Haynes, bottom of your screen, taken down near the first down marker. Oh, my goodness.
That's a big body with speed, too, coming out of that backfield.
They're going to give Haynes the first down. He got 10 to 11 yards on that carry, and yeah, just the speed at 5'9", almost 200 pounds.
I mean, our crew just zoomed in on Haynes, 44, and, like, you really, really see, like, his build, and it's tough here in November to get that young man down.
It's that time of year. And it's going to be blown dead. It's like that may be a false start on the Smithies. So again, as soon as they get into Kirtland territory, some negative plays that have hampered this offense that has looked pretty good until they cross that halfway line, and then things just get a little more difficult.
Yeah, and this is where any team that faces Kirtland really up until the Final Four state title game, like it's these little things. You almost feel you got to play perfect. But, again, first quarter, kind of the same story as last year, tied after one.
Yeah, and that's where we are. Double A mentioned it. The score 7-7 after one. The Hornets and the Smithies tied right here on CVC TV. Well, if you're looking to break into the exciting world of broadcasting, film, or digital media, the Ohio Media School in Cleveland offering hands-on training in radio and TV broadcasting, audio production, sports broadcasting, and more. Their real-world approach, taught by industry professionals, ensures your job ready in about 8 months. Located conveniently in Valley View, their Cleveland campus is your gateway to a rewarding career in media. Visit beonair.com to start your journey today. That's beonair.com. Also want to thank our friends over AA at the Fairview Tavern. See the logo in the bottom left corner of your screen. Our playoff sponsor, presenting sponsor of CVC TV. Appreciate them. And Robert and everyone over at the Fairview Tavern. If you're over on the west side trying to catch a Browns game, they're facing Baltimore this weekend. May God have mercy on their soul. Feel free to head over to the Fairview Tavern and enjoy the game. At least the food's good. The football may not be good, but the food's good.
The food and the blue plate special is good.
Oh,
you can also get some counseling among other Browns fans.
Oh, they're going to need it.
Yeah. It's a 4 o'clock game, too.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, second quarter underway as we are here live from Wilson Stadium, and the Smithies still on the other side of midfield now. This time, I think maybe Kirtland gave him a little bit of a break there.
Yeah, that's a Kirtland mistake.
So it was a false start to end the first quarter, and then there's a offsides to start the second. That's going to put the ball back at the original line of scrimmage, first down and 10 again for the Smithies.
Craziness here to start the second quarter. It's been a great game so far.
Of course, Kirtland striking first. Jake Laverty, a huge 41-yard touchdown pass to Ryan Kamey. Handoff Haynes. He's going to get torn down. Not much there for Haynes. Took a while to get him down. Lorber was in on the initial contact, and Haynes able to maybe get about a yard or two off that. Of course, Smithies took a fumble from John Silvestro. Kirtland back for a touchdown. Isaiah Lee returned it, sophomore. Showing off that speed, and that's where we are, tied, 7 apiece.
Yeah, definitely. And on that last play, Kirtland has to do more of that. Swarm, the ball carrier every single time. You got to get 2 guys to bring the ball carriers down.
Lee in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Haynes. Bottom of your screen, turning upfield, lowering the shoulder, getting down to about the 35-yard line. Delayed option handoff to Haynes, and he's able to get a solid gain on that. Haynes quietly 5 carries, and he's got over 27 yards already in this first half.
Did I say you got to get 2 guys to bring him down? I meant 4. I mean, that right there.
It's physical football. We've seen this from Smithville last year, too. Even despite the loss, the first quarter, even parts of the second, you saw the physicality they can bring. Showing it off again here. Handoff middle, Haynes. Some pushing at the end of the play. In the defensive secondary, Haynes able to try to get forward. See where they mark him down here. It's going to be 4th down, but the question is where, and it's going to be about 2 yards short, so Haynes couldn't get it.
Yeah, it was Jake Laverty who did a great job making that tackle, making the play.
They came up and made the stop in that safety position, so now it's going to be 4th and short. Side under center. 3 backs in the backfield here. Turn, pitch, Lee outside, trying to use his speed. He gets hit. He gets stopped. Lee goes backwards on the pitch. They try to use the speed of the sophomore. But a couple different players got to the outside. Kamey, one of them. Ryan Kamey got out there, and there's no dice. Turnover on downs for the second time. Both in Kirtland territory.
And you're right about what happens in Kirtland territory, but I think it's interesting. We talked about it throughout the year. We're seeing more teams pitch on 4th and short on the outside. And if the defender doesn't beat the tailback there, you get the first.
Pitch to the outside. Silvestro working through, cutting back in. Silvestro down to about the 45-yard line. He should have 11 yards and a first down. The week he had last week. Over 150 yards, 4 touchdowns in that game.
Yeah, amazing.
So impressive.
I mean, he's had an unbelievable year.
1,600 yards and 28 rushing touchdowns. My goodness. Talk about the running backs in the CVC, too. We talk about the quarterbacks a lot, but the running backs playing great. Handoff up the middle, another big run for Silvestro down to about the 45-yard line. That's right at the first down marker, and I think he should have it, and he will.
I mean, the running backs, not just in the running backs in this game. And again, this is where Kirtland hurts you, right back to the line.
And the sneak for Laverty, trying to just catch the defense off guard, get a few more. Laverty gets about roughly 3 to 4 on that carry.
And you got to think, too, some of the guys who was on the Smithville offense, you know, they play both ways. So this physical play, it kind of wears you down a little bit.
Talk about the bye, the new playoff format, too. How much does that benefit Jake Laverty, of course, missing the second half of the season with that injury and able to get an extra week with no competition to rest up and get back for the playoffs? How big is that's almost the biggest acquisition you could have for a team like Kirtland going into this situation. Silvestro works to the outside, turns the corner, should have another first down. Now he's starting to get it going. Silvestro moving the chains.
Well, to answer your question, a ton. I mean, just they play such a physical brand of football that, I mean, I was even talking to guys before the Wycliffe game. Like, guys were beat up just because of how physical that they play. So having that week off, I think, is huge for a team like Kirtland.
When you think about it, too, I mentioned every game, 20-plus points they've won it by. So they didn't really tail off too much with Laverty being out. Now you add him back into the lineup, and it's unbelievable. Keeper to the outside. No, it's actually a handoff. Laverty, great job selling that fake. Not much on that carry, only a few yards. Bledsoe got his second carry. They actually gave him about 4.
Well,
he seemingly gets 4 to 5 yards almost on every carry he takes.
Well, in doing research for this game for the News Herald, you know, you talked about, like, the extra pep in the step, you know, with Laverty back in the game. I mean, and it's just this extra speed, you know, that this offense has.
And to have that kind of option at quarterback, all-time leader in wins. The starter, Laverty keeping this one. Spun down by Lee to the outside. Good tackle by Lee in the open field on Laverty.
Lee did a good job staying home, even though, you know, yards were given up. But Smithville has an opportunity here on this third down.
Laverty back under center. To keep it himself, lowering the shoulder. Just so hard to bring him down, and they're going to keep pushing him through. So Laverty's going to have the first. It's been a play they've called a couple times to get a few yards or to, in that case, just get the first down and then some.
I don't know if you remember the very first Jake Laverty game you called, but from that point to right now, a couple years later, a few years later, man, bigger guy, right? He can really create that distance there running the ball.
Been in this role since his freshman year. Missed some time, pitch to the outside. Silvestro gets down to about the 10-yard line, maybe the 11, so give him 5 more. Silvestro off to a great start. Besides the fumble, he's been great. But, yeah, I mean, Laverty's, we've seen the growth not only just obviously in the game and in this play, but physically.
Yeah, physically.
When you're going through, I mean, yeah.
We used to joke, like, Jake Laverty, like when he used to line up under center, sometimes you couldn't see him. He was so low and was not as tall.
I'm sure Tiger's going to really appreciate us bringing that up.
He's grown. Your son has grown up.
Oh, my goodness. Second down to 5. They can get a first without scoring. Handoff on the weak side. Silvestro gets torn down. Lowered that shoulder.
He's dangerous off tackle.
Oh, my goodness.
And that's what they've been doing here in this game.
Well, that was a big stop by Brennan Pyatt, who took that in the chest.
Yeah, right.
Kind of just brought him down.
Think about how much speed Silvestro is getting.
Keeper by Laverty again, up the middle, down to about roughly the 5-yard line. They're moving quick.
They substitute quick, too. Like, they sprint on and off the field. It's just little things that the Hornets do. I'm not saying other teams don't do it, but these guys are literally sprinting on and off the field.
Laverty was able to move the chain, so first down and goal from the 5-yard line. 5:42 to go in this first half. So again, Kirtland taking some time off the clock, trying to get back into the end zone. Laverty giving off, handoff inside, and he's in. Touchdown, Kirtland. Bledsoe gets in from 5 yards out.
I was just going to say, watch this run on the replay. At some point, we're going to bring up Ty Bledsoe again. He beat me by a play.
They're waiting to get it. Again, we see like the rotation, almost like we talked about with Perry, with McCoy Richards and Nate Trefsker, how they kind of rotated quarterbacks. They rotate running backs. So it seems like they get quarters to kind of take their shots. Extra point on the way from Lasicki is up, and it is good. It's now 14-7, Kirtland with the lead. But that is kind of what you see with the running backs here at Kirtland because of what they're able to do at such a high level. And, of course, you bring up Perry. Don't forget they are in action tonight as well over at Alumni Stadium taking on West Branch. Right now the score, less than this one, 0-0, second quarter.
How about that?
Those teams fighting back and forth.
Defensive showcase. You know, we had Perry in NDCL last week on CVC TV. We thought Perry was just going to go out and about offensively. They scored opening, 13 points of the game, and then the scoring stopped. NDCL clamped down defensively.
It's a great win for the Pirates last week, trying to stack those up. Imagine possibly Glenville could be in the future.
Yeah, winner of that game faces the winner of Glenville and Lake Catholic, Mentor Lake Catholic.
Be fun to see Lake Catholic take on Perry. That's a possibility.
That would be.
Two close teams there.
It's going to be interesting to see how Smithville responds here. You know, that was a classic Kirtland drive you just saw there with all their running backs, including Laverty, and I say that purposely being used, running the ball.
Be a kick taken in by the Smithies, turning upfield down to the 35-yard line. Give or take a yard or two there. That's where Smithville will take back over. And again, on this side of the field, AA, they've been great. A couple of first downs, moving the chains, getting past that giant Hornet in the middle of the field. But after that, it gets real tough for Smithville. A turnover and 2 turnover on downs. But the offense has shown they can move. Now they got to finish this drive to try and get back into this game.
Wonder here that, yeah, it looks like maybe they'll put it up in the air. You got stacked receiving crew here at the bottom.
3 of 6 in this first half, rolling to his right, looking, time, throw his back foot. That one is
what a play!
Knocked down. Oh my goodness, I thought maybe he almost had the interception for a second there. Xander Perko just able to smack that ball into the turf. Thought maybe it was going to be completed, but Perko with great recovery speed on the back end knocked it down, incomplete.
He did a great job using both his hands. He extended, his arms to bat the ball down. That was probably going to be a completion if he didn't make that heads-up play.
It was a great job by Perko. Second down now for the Smithies. Going to be a handoff inside and nowhere to go. Haynes was still trying to work, but just had nothing there. And take your pick, a bunch of Hornets in there. Brandon Oppenheim was one of them, the junior. Haynes actually lost a yard on the play.
And it makes it tough because you still want to keep Kirtland honest, on the defensive side. But, man, after, that big play on first down and then not getting much of anything on actually losing a yard, it looks like on the second down, it makes it really tough here on third down.
The other thing, too, is Lee comes out. He'll be at the bottom of your screen. Maybe want to try and get him the ball in space with the speed and having that much room to try and get. So they'll dump it off. That's going to be incomplete. Haynes.
They
haven't blown the play dead. It was a forward pass. I don't know why they didn't blow that one dead.
It should have been.
It was very clearly a forward pass that was incomplete, but I don't know if they're going to rule it that way.
It's going to be incomplete.
There they go. Now it comes through.
Yeah.
They didn't blow the whistle after the pass, so there was some confusion on the sideline and possibly in this announcer booth, but we were able to work through it.
Well, I mean, can't do any reviews until the state title game. I mean, we're not Spectrum. we're not running your cable bill up. So I mean, you just think about.
Oh, they're gonna love that.
I hope so. Taking away our games.
Snap and the punt away. That one is high. It's going to bounce at the 40 and going to take a Kirtland bounce. It's tipped.
Did Kirtland? I don't
know who touched that ball.
I don't think Kirtland touched it.
I think maybe Smithville did, which obviously means the ball is just downed at the 41-yard line. If that ball was touched by Kirtland, that would be a live football.
Definitely. And again, we're on the visitor side, so it was like, whoa, wait a minute.
Just got to be careful with that as the Hornets going to take back over now at about their 40-yard line.
I once had a special team coach yell at me for not getting out of the way. You know, sometimes you just don't know when the ball is that high up where it's going to land. And if you're in the wrong spot, it could hit you and you don't even know it.
Rather now you just sprint out of the end zone, away from the ball. Just
sprint
get away.
To the sidelines.
Yeah. Handoff on the right side. Stop. Bledsoe got the carry and didn't get much. Maybe about 2 to 3 yards on that carry on the right side. Bledsoe is fourth. He's only got about 16 yards, but he does have a touchdown in this first half.
Defense read it correctly, because if Silvestro would have got the ball, there was open space here at the bottom, but defense read it perfectly, made the stop.
No, they're just taking shifts right now at the running back spot. Second down. Kamey in motion. Maybe a pass. Laverty looking, taking a shot down the seam, incomplete. Great coverage there on the back end by Lee, who's been all over the field. Forced 3rd and 7.
Kind of wish Kamey would have kept going just a little bit there on the route, because he allowed Lee, number 20, defensively to kind of close in on the coverage.
So, opportunity for Smithville's defense to stop Kirtland's offense, try and force another punt. Both teams have punted once. Kirtland holding on to that 14-7 lead. With over 3.5 minutes to go in this first half. Seidel going to line up in the shotgun, looking, or I should say rather Laverty in the shotgun, looking to pass, going to take off. Laverty makes it through.
My.
What a move by Laverty, and he's going to have the first down. Needed 7, got 8. And Laverty able to just avoid tacklers and get past the midfield mark. Just enough for a first down.
How about his awareness, too? Again, you're right. He looked down the field, looked for the options, and then just taking off. It was so impressive about Laverty. Every time he runs the football, you watch his shoulders. For everyone watching, next time he runs the ball, Laverty, watch his shoulders. Watch how low his shoulders are when he runs the football.
First down for Kirtland. Handoff inside. I don't know how Silvestro got through there and still managed to get maybe about 2 or 3 yards on that carry, where he was hit originally about 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, just kept moving forward. Even the supposed negative plays for the Hornets usually end up being positive somehow.
They are positive, but defensively I like the play, though, because, again, just keep attack. You got to be successful on first downs and go with your first gut. So at least it was a minimal gain.
Going to be a keeper for Laverty to the outside. He's going to lower his shoulder. Good tackle on the outside.
Great read.
Yeah, Laverty pulled that back and still got hit. So it's going to be 3rd and about 3 yards as Laverty was able to get about 3 yards.
What was that, Lee again who made the tackle?
That would not surprise me. Lee's been all over the field tonight. Defensively, offensively, in the first couple drives, he was making plays, and of course has the lone touchdown on the fumble return.
Again, Laverty's at the
He pitches out. There's Silvestro. He turns upfield, and he's going to have the first down to about the 36-yard line. Got about 6 yards. Silvestro unofficially 11 carries, and he's got 79 yards in this first half.
I'm a little jealous watching him run the football, because his 1 step is worth my 2 steps. He takes up so much field space when he runs the football with his strides and, of course, with the power behind it.
Part of that 1-2 punch. Hand off middle, Silvestro pushing forward, getting a solid gain. Just keep on going to it.
Again, even with that run, it was only like, what, 6 steps that he took?
Still find a way to get some positive yardage out of that, and then some. Laverty trying to take another sneak up the middle, and he should, I believe, have another first down.
So it's unbelievable. And again, now you have, it's kind of like a hockey, like a mass shift, like a mass substitutions.
They are moving. Laverty, quick pass outside. That one's caught. Kamey down the right side. He's going to be out of bounds. Around the, looks like 15-yard line, so that should be another first down, gain of 10.
And notice, too, now, actually, it caught me a little off guard. There's 54 seconds left before halftime. Again, Kirtland's not going to rush here. You know, they went out of bounds, clock stops. But, yeah, I mean, now time's moving just a little bit.
And again, they can get the first down at the 5 and still have time to make moves here. Both teams got a few timeouts left. Handoff inside. Still on his feet. Silvestro working, and he's going to get torn down at about the 6, maybe 7-yard line. Solid run by Silvestro again.
And again, another mass substitution. This is unbelievable. But again, just fresh bodies. Clock is moving down, though, with 33 seconds.
Laverty under center, turns, hands off. Bledsoe, he's in. Ty Bledsoe just so hard to bring down 11 yards for another touchdown.
How about it? Let's watch just this line, and you got fresh bodies coming in and out of this game. That's the difference, not just with the line, but the skill position guys, too, with Ty Bledsoe taking it home. A huge score before halftime for Kirtland.
Got to think about this, too. Kirtland going to receive that third quarter kickoff, so that was big to get those points. Lengthen their lead, pending this extra point. That kicks a line drive. It's up, and it is good. 21-7 to score, 25 seconds to go. Right here on CVC TV, Kirtland on top of the Smithville Smithies. What a turnaround it's been. Remember, Kirtland started off the huge touchdown pass double A. They did a great job, obviously, pulling out in front. Then the fumble by Silvestro, returned by Lee for a touchdown for Smithville. But since that point, Kirtland's really been able to lock this down. Besides a punt, the offense has moved down the field and scored. Defense has done their part too, forcing 2 4-and-outs, turnover on downs, and that 1 turnover.
Yeah, and it's been classic Kirtland football. Like, it's not like, you know, it's not a blowout or anything like that. It's just for Smithville, the inability to finish drives. You know, Kirtland will get them stuck, a couple of defensive plays, and they're behind the sticks. Smithville's behind the sticks.
Got to think that, 3 different times, 2 of them deep in Kirtland territory, almost near the red zone. And just no points out of those 3 possessions.
And you're
Smithville.
seeing great effort, too, from the secondary on first down from Kirtland. You know, I think back to that swat, down, on the corner route from the last drive.
Well, that was a huge play by Perko that, remember, he recovered because that would have been a huge catch and run. Short little kick taken in cleanly. Oh, my goodness, by Smithville. What a hit.
Are you kidding?
Oof. Well, Andy Ridgway, we haven't called his name yet, the senior, but we are now. My goodness.
Yes, we are. How about what a hit.
Laying the boom. And, again, ball going to be at about the 40. So Smithville with 22 seconds to go, have a couple timeouts. So you can take some shots here.
You got to. I am no victory formation or, to go to half. You got to take some shots, considering, again, that Kirtland's going to receive the football in the second half.
Seidel 3 of 8, 36 yards, and the interception. He's ran for 28 yards in this first half as well. Play bone dead, and, Smithville going to take a timeout now. So they don't get a playoff. It's a curious timeout to take here with 22 seconds to go and no play ran.
Yeah, very interesting. And you think, too, Kyle, because sometimes you have this debate, like, do you manage that timeout, for clock management, or do you see a defensive look that, ooh, we got to make some adjustments, and maybe it's worth burning a timeout? That's tough. It's a tough call.
It really is they're going to trot back onto the field now with just one remaining.
The DBs dropped back too, on the previous play before the timeout.
Well, they're going to give you the edges and some space. You could try to chip away a little bit because you have time. Just get out of bounds and then put yourself in a spot where maybe you can take a shot to the end zone. Make this a one-score game before we go into half.
The key's going to be number 20, Isaiah Lee.
Now they're going to hand it off. Haynes working to the outside. Tackled at about the 46-yard line, 6 yards for Mason Haynes. Interesting play call there.
Yeah, that means they're just going to go to halftime.
And again, no real rush at the line. And, yeah, it looks like the Smithies are going to let this one go into the half. So right now, the score, 21-7, Kirtland on top of Smithville right here on CVC TV. What a start for the Hornets. 14-point lead going into the break, but Smithville still hanging around in this game for last year. It was 33-0 at halftime. So we'll take, obviously, this as far as quality of game goes. And Smithville this time hanging around a little bit more with Kirtland. You can show that they've shown they've learned a little bit from last year. Obviously still a huge first half for John Silvestro, 94 yards unofficially on 13 carries. Did have the fumble that led to the only 7 points of the game for Smithville in that first half. But Bledsoe, a couple rushing touchdowns. Laverty threw a 41-yard touchdown pass to Tommy Kamey. And again, the defense of Kirtland bending, not breaking, letting them into the Smithies into deep into their territory, but not breaking, not giving up points on the defensive side of the football in that first half. The Hornets, I think right now, Coach Laverty probably pretty happy with where they sit.
Yeah, definitely. And I think here, obviously with Kirtland, defensively, they're handling business, taking advantage of some opportunities. I think if you're Smithville, offensively, I know it's a 2-touchdown deficit, but it's only a 2-touchdown deficit. You can still run the ball, but that's going to be key to, can their defense keep it as a 2-score deficit, because Kirtland's going to get the ball first. Defensively, Kirtland, they cannot allow Kirtland to drive down the field. They got to find a way to corral all their runners, whether it's Silvestro, Laverty, or Ty Bledsoe, who has the 2 touchdowns.
So with that, we will take a break here at halftime here for the band for Smithville and, of course, Kirtland as well. The score, 21-7. Quick score update, too, over in Perry at Alumni Stadium. Still scoreless, 0-0 in the second quarter. West Branch taking on the Perry Pirates. CVC action. 2 teams remain. We have one for you here on the other side of the bands right here on CVC TV.
Mr. Scott Sell and Assistant Director Mr. Noah Reynolds, with flag and major league advisors Kirsten Smith and percussion instructor Mr. Alex Moore. We proudly present the pride of Kirtland, the 2025 Kirtland Hornet Marching Band. Tonight we feature our seniors. They have picked the music, wrote the drills and the routines, and taught the drills. Thank you for all your hard work and dedication. To kick off tonight's performance, the Kirtland Hornet Marching Band turns up the volume with the rock anthem that defined a generation. Released in 1986 by Bon Jovi, this explosive hit blends fierce vocals, unforgettable riffs, and all-out attitude. This is Living on a Prayer. We feature our flags and majorettes as the Kirtland Hornet Marching Band brings the energy and edge from one of pop music's biggest icons. Released in 2013 by Lady Gaga, here is Applause. The Kirtland Hornet Marching Band closes tonight's halftime show with one of the most iconic pop anthems of the 21st century. Released in 2008 by Lady Gaga, here is Poker Face.
Do you want to learn how to be a producer, DJ, on-air talent, or influencer? Visit beonair.com and discover a media school that's changing the game. We have 7 campuses across the country, and you can graduate in as little as 8 months. No math or English classes here, just classes that interest you and give you hands-on experience with real-world professionals in the media industry. And there's financial aid available for those who qualify. Stop sleepwalking through life. Show up for your dreams. Visit beonair.com and take the free career assessment. beonair.com.
Hey guys, Kyle and Anthony here with CVC TV. And do you have any unwanted guests in your home?
I don't know why you looked at me when you said that. We're not talking about me.
No, we're not. We're actually talking about bats, believe it or not. It is a thing here in Northeast Ohio. And luckily, our friends right behind us here, Alpha Animal Removal, have you covered. Those pests, they get in your attic. It could be a whole another ball game when it comes to taking care of your home. But don't worry, Alpha Animal Removal, they got you covered.
They got you covered. They're going to handle business as far as detecting where the bats are, getting it out safely, and they'll fill up the holes, too, so to make sure that they don't return to your home and business. If you have a business as well, they'll take care of you.
And, of course, we're talking about bats, but we're also talking about really any critters that get up there. You want to make sure you can get them out safely. We all love our animals, of course, but want to make sure your house is taken care of, too, as Anthony mentioned. They do a great job with that. Anthony, where can people go to make sure they do this the right way, the humane way, and the safe way?
Alpha-animal-removal.com. That's alpha-animal-removal.com.
Right there. Welcome back in, folks. Halftime here, 21-7. The score, Kirtland on top of Smithville right here on CVC TV. Kyle Cornell, AA, Anthony Alford with you as the Smithies retake the field. Kirtland getting some stretching in before the start of the third quarter in AA. It was back and forth. Obviously, first quarter tied, just like it was last season. Just like it was last season as well. Kirtland was able to put some points on the board in the second frame, take a lead, and they're going to start with the football to start this third quarter.
Yeah, that's going to be huge here to start. You know, in Kirtland here in this first half, just a complete effort on the ground. Of course, all their guys, all your usual suspects, you know, whether it's Bledsoe, Silvestro, even Laverty, you know, running the football, running very efficiently, you know, against this Smithville defense. Very curious what the halftime adjustments were defensively crashing down. Got to get multiple guys to get those playmakers down.
It'll be a big start of this third quarter for Kirtland, trying to just expand the lead to 3 scores. Smithville on the defensive end, it's where they've made their marks at AA. It's where they got all 7 of their points. It was a fumble return by, again, their receiver, their sophomore receiver, you know, who was able to get back there and get those points on the board. Talk about Isaiah Lee and what he's been able to do all season long, catching, running the football, and then obviously defensively, it's almost he's made more of his mark there. We've seen him knock some balls down, be aggressive on the outside, get some stops on the Kirtland offensive side, but from them. But man, I mean, I gotta imagine utilizing him more in this second half going to be key if Smithville wants to get back into the ballgame.
They're going to have to. I mean, again, number 20, he's been a weapon across the board. I mean, offensively, even defensively, he's been a weapon. But yeah, getting him in open space. I also don't, blame me. I want to also see more of Mason Haynes. I want to see, downhill running. No hesitation, no funny business in the backfield. Just give him the football, let him work. When he had open space, it was earlier in the game. It was hard for Kirtland to bring him down. They had to bring multiple guys. You got to keep feeding that. And again, it's only a 2-touchdown difference, but the key in order to stay with that game plan, Smithville's defense has to make a stop against Kirtland, who will get the football first.
And again, Haynes just 8 carries for 33 yards in that first half unofficially. I mean, there's not a lot there. Not a lot of touches for the guy who had over 1,300 yards coming into the game, and of course the leading rusher all time for the Smithies in school history. On the other side, second game back after a 5-game absence for Jake Laverty. He looked pretty solid. 2 of 4, 51 yards, that 41-yard bomb to Tommy Kamey, and then, of course, 10 carries, 44 yards for Laverty in that first half as well. A bunch of quarterback sneaks, just moving the ball
to deliver.
Again, quick scoring update. It's the half over at Alumni Stadium. Perry leads West Branch 6-0. So both CVC teams up at the half. Kirtland going to try and expand their lead here to start this third quarter, as we're just moments away from booting the ball away and getting things going from Wilson Stadium here in beautiful Kirtland, Ohio.
As we always say, when the team is down, that front line from the kick return team, be aware of potential onside kick opportunities, to steal a possession. We've seen that a few times this year.
The habit of speaking these things into existence, partner. I don't know if you want to.
Just telling you, be ready.
Nevertheless, Smithville going to try and boot this one off. It's a line drive, low kick. Taken in by Kirtland. They're on the 30-yard line. A decent return up to around the 35, maybe 36, and that's where the Hornets will get going. Ryan Kamey on the return, and Jake Laverty and company going to jog back onto the field with a chance to possibly go up 3 scores in this game. Remember, last year, a lot of the damage done in this game in the second quarter. It was 33 points in the second quarter in the playoff game last year. The only other meeting with these two teams, that was a 39-0 Kirtland win. This time, a little bit different. Kirtland's got some work to do here in this third frame.
And remember, the only score from Smithville in this game has been from the defense.
It'll be handoff on the inside. Starting with Bledsoe up the middle. Solid run to about the 40, maybe 41-yard line. So give Bledsoe 5 early yards. He had 2 rushing touchdowns in that first half. Now only 32 yards on the ground, but still has made his impact on the other side of midfield usually.
Get tight coverage once again.
Another handoff on the inside, still working his way through and just lowering the shoulder, getting past midfield down to the 48-yard line. Bledsoe now taking his shift and making the most out of it. And a gain of about roughly 11 yards and a first down.
Man, I thought the play was going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage, but not able to finish the tackle. And if you don't wrap up against these guys, they're going to break every single tackle.
Well, Silvestro got 13 carries in that first half, so Bledsoe's due for some as they kind of almost line shift out. We saw quickly Kirtland subs, and they'll give it to both of them. To keeper, to Laverty. Great fake. He dives forward, gets near the 41-yard line. 7 yards for Jake Laverty. That fake is so good.
I didn't even realize he had the ball.
I don't think anyone
I'm
knew.
not even kidding. I did not realize.
I don't even know if Laverty knew he had the ball for a second there. He's like, oh, wait, yeah, me.
Do you run hard sometimes? Just like, oh, yeah, I got the football, or I meant to hand it off. But again, this is what they do. This is the ultimate test here for this defense. They got to give their offense an opportunity, on the other side here. But these are big gains here in this opening third quarter drive.
Gain about 7 for Laverty, who's eclipsed 50 yards passing and rushing now in the contest. Fake pitch, Laverty looking to pass. Going to take a shot down the middle. Got a receiver. It's Kamey. He's breaking through, torn down, and he's in. Lee got there late, but not fast enough. Ryan Kamey gets in for 6 points.
This is what they do. Get you sucked in, and then the bomb right down the middle of the field for the score.
It's a second 40-plus yard touchdown pass of the game for Laverty.
And the problem is, Kyle, with those play fakes defensively, you have to respect it because of how much they were running the football in like 5, 6, 7-yard gains, and then Kirtland breaks one open.
Well, Ryan and Tommy both get into the end zone on big touchdown receptions, identical to each other. Extra point is good. Score now 28-7. Kirtland on top of Smithville right here on CVC TV. And, of course, our presenting sponsor is the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Doctors Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Jill Weber. They handle everything from dental surgery and implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. For all of your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website at www.ohsurgery.com. Also want to thank our friends over at Greeny Sports Cards. Northeast Ohio's largest buyer and seller of sports cards is looking to buy yours too. Whether you have a few cards or a whole storage unit, set up an appointment through their website, greenysportscards.com. Always buying, always selling Greeny's Sports Cards. Now another big haymaker thrown by the Hornets, Stubway, here in the start of this third quarter. Only took a little under 2 minutes. 7 more points on the board.
Yeah, getting Kamey, the leading receiver, coming into this game.
Both of them have had fantastic seasons.
Yeah.
Ryan and Tommy, take your pick. They both can catch the ball at a high rate.
Yeah, Ryan, 26 receptions coming into this game.
And Tommy up there as well.
Tommy only was 6 receptions, but 238 yards, so he's a big play threat.
Yeah, you see him on the defensive end, too, make plays. The line drive kick taken in right at the 40-yard line. Good catch. Just not a lot after it. Taken down around the 42-yard line. That was Zach Leno, sophomore, who just caught the ball on a line drive, almost like he was returning a kick.
That too.
Might as well just been back all the way at the 5, taking that ball. Looked really natural.
They got good field position here at Smithville, so obviously Kirtland defensively lock in. You know, again, make sure you're not caught in the backfield if you're watching defensively.
Well, at some point, the offense has to get going for the Smithies here to make an impact. Rolling out, throwing. That one is going to be caught. Good completion to the outside. Torn down to the 45-yard line. Good catch and run. That was a good catch on the outside by Javon Wodarski. He's going to move the chains.
Yeah, he's one of their other playmakers on this offense. One of the first times we called his name here tonight.
Well, it's been a minute, but a solid catch for Wodarski to the outside and able to move the chains for the Smithies. Lee in motion. Let's be a keeper to the outside. Seidel moving through, getting down to about the 40. 5 yards on the carry.
Good fake. I mean, good sell. And again, it's the speed from the quarterback is so important to keep this defense off balance and run hard attack. Even you almost have to watch the ones who don't have the football because you still need to run with the same level of intensity as you would with the football or to sell the play fakes.
2nd and 4. Gave him 6 yards on the quarterback keeper. Handoff inside. Haynes lowering the shoulder, getting down to about the 35. So got 4. They needed 4. It should be right at the line to gain. We'll see if they move the chains here.
Say whether or not it's a first down or not. You give it right back to Haynes.
Now there you go. They point that direction. It's going to be a first down. Just telling the chain crew there to take it through. So Haynes, first carry of the second half, and he gets the first down. 9 carries, 37 yards for Haynes in the ball game. Expect to see more of him, not only on this drive, but the rest of this half, Double A.
Definitely. And you need to see him on this next play. I mean, I think you still, continue to run it up the gut a little bit. You got to give another play or two with him running the ball so that Kirtland can respect Smithville running it.
Maybe a timeout on the field. Smithville going to have to take an early timeout with 8:35 to go in this third quarter. Score remains 28-7 right here on CVC TV. Hey, transform your property with a fence from R&T Fence Company. Family owned for over 36 years, they provide top-notch fence installation services all across Northeast Ohio. Specializing in residential, commercial, and industrial fencing, they offer a wide range of options, including aluminum, vinyl, wood, and chain link. Call 330-626-5170 for a free estimate or visit rtfence.com. Whether you need a new fence or a custom gate, trust the experts at R&T Fence to deliver quality and professionalism. That's rtfence.com, your fencing solution. Back onto the field of the Smithies now after a unexpected timeout.
And again, I wouldn't mind. Go back to 44. You don't want to. And again, some teams will go right back to the pass here, but I think you do need to further establish the run a little bit. That could be an asset for you.
At the delayed handoff, the option plays they run with Lee in motion that are just tough to read if you're Kirtland. Another keeper, side up the middle. Going to get down to about the 32-yard line. About 3 to 4 on that carry.
And that's good, though. I mean, offensively, 3-4 yards. Might only give them 2.
Well, yeah, they knock them down after a gain of only 2, so 33-yard line where that ball going to be placed. That was the rule in middle school football, Double A. If you get 3 yards per down, you never have to punt.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Or you just go for it on 4th down. I'm kidding.
Yeah. Second down, pistol formation. Haynes behind, going to be a pass. Taking a shot down the right side. That one's tipped, and it's almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. There's pass interference that's going to be called on Kamey. That's a huge penalty. And again, this is not college to the NFL. It's not a spot, so it's going to be, I believe, 10 yards from the spot previously, and a first down automatically.
It will be at least a first down.
Yeah, but you'll take that if you're the Smithies right now.
I thought that was just classic hand checking a little bit, but I mean, the ref was on it. Like, the ref made a confident call, was right on it.
Yeah, so they're going to move the chains. And this is the best opportunity that the Smithies have had in this entire game on offense now. It's first down and 10 from the Kirtland 18-yard line inside the red zone.
I believe, is this their first red zone?
Now they brushed with it early in the first quarter, or in the first quarter rather. They were around there. They got down to the 27. Now an opportunity to try and capitalize. Seidel going to hand off. Haynes up the middle, trying to spin through, going to get caught after a short gain.
I mean, Kirtland's D-line, they're going to make you work. So it's like for Smithville, you got to be able to answer the challenge and, finish those blocks, to get those extra yards.
Some credit to Kirtland's defense, too, holding Haynes to under 4 yards a carry in this ball game to this point. Some late subs coming in. Seidel and Brennan Pyatt made a play Pyatt did earlier on the defensive end. Spreading out to the top of your screen. 3 backs in the backfield behind Seidel. The fake pitch, keeper looking to pass, throws, back foot, that one's intercepted! Intercepted, Kamey makes up for the pass interference. He turns upfield, Kamey still has the ball. He's still going. Kamey, bottom of your screen, one man to beat is Haynes, and he'll force him out at the 40. Ryan Kamey was an unbelievable read on the pass here on the near side and takes the interception down to the 40. Another forced turnover for the Hornets.
The ball just sailed. I mean, it sailed. It was a good fake, but let's watch. I just think the ball just died on it, couldn't get the air, but Kamey ran it really well. He was just right there. He didn't really have to move. And then, by the way, same spot on the field that Kirtland made the defensive play last year that broke this game open. Same spot.
It's crazy to think about the defense. Both defenses playing big in this game and making plays. Kirtland just a little bit more. That's why you see the score where it is. 6:48 to go in the third quarter. The Hornets now with the ball. That was Smithy's best opportunity. Try and get in.
You had the stacked eye. You could have ran it. You had Lee and Haynes back there.
Carey up the middle, breaking through inside the 25. Bledsoe with another big carry. Just continues his dominance.
Man, that's so tough, though, because, again, I think that was Smithville's first time in the red zone, having that scoring opportunity and putting it up in the air. Just didn't work out.
Ends up being a 17-yard gain for Bledsoe, who's got 8 carries, 60 yards unofficially, and a couple of scores in this game. Of course, Silvestro knocking on the door of 100 yards on the ground in his own right. Hand up, there is John Silvestro working through the middle. Short game for him. And again, this is where Kirtland starts to wear you down.
Yeah, they had extra guys up on the line. Silvestro, he wanted more, obviously, on that run.
And I did get a lot of credit, too, on that last interception. The pressure from Kirtland was a fake pitch. They ran that a couple times where it was the pitch outside. And this time, Seidel kept it and rolled out to his right and had to throw off the back foot. That's where you mentioned the ball maybe sailed a little bit. Give Kirtland a lot of credit. Good read.
I just don't think he was able to step into the throw.
Yeah,
he saw the replay.
And the pressure right there as Silvestro runs on the right side, still on his feet. Going to be torn down through, but not until he gets in. Touchdown, John Silvestro, 19 yards out. Another one for number 4.
And that's the other story of this game. You know, a couple of broken tackles. And he's just, again, running hard, getting into the end zone. And just like that, points off of turnovers, that quickly going down the field and scoring.
29th rushing touchdown of the season for John Silvestro. My goodness. What a year. Only the 12th game of the season. Think about that. Extra point on the way. It is up, and it is good. The score now 35-7. Kirtland on top of Smithville right here on CVC TV. And, of course, see the logo in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Thankful to our sponsor for the entire run of our playoffs here. Michigan Valley Conference, of course, the Fairview Tavern. Make sure if you're heading out to the west side, maybe you're trying to catch Browns game. Cavaliers, obviously, their season's up and going.
Yeah, definitely.
Feel free to stop out there. Ohio State on Saturdays, all that good stuff. Blue Plate Special, AA had that last week, a couple weeks ago, I should say.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. They do a lot of great stuff. I know one of the cooks there personally.
Oh, yeah?
I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Only you, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But no, Ohio State, they got UCLA tomorrow night.
They in Southern California, or are they here?
I think it's here.
Okay.
I think it's here.
Take a little break from the cold. Go out to SoCal.
So,
nice.
By the way, a rare Ohio State home game in November.
Yeah, they kind of stacked those beginning of the season.
Of course, Ohio State keeps winning, and everyone outside of Big Ten country hates it because supposedly they're not challenged.
Well, Kirtland getting a bit more of a challenge this year from Smithville, but now starting to lay the hammer down. Second and third quarter. And scooped up, return past the 40-yard line. So Smithville's been able to have some pretty good starting field position throughout this game, and the offense has driven into Kirtland territory almost a handful, literally, of times. But they've gotten no points out of it. The only points, again, coming on that fumble return for a touchdown in the first quarter. The offense, again, just getting down there, but not being able to finish at the end.
Well, and the problem has been, here lately, critical turnovers. And they had good field position here, but
no, that's going to go back. Maybe a hold at the end of that. So it was going to be on the other side of the 40, but now it's going to get put down at the 26-yard line, I believe. Yes. So I almost wonder if that was a personal foul, not a hold.
I believe so.
Yeah, just some frustration maybe on the Smithies sideline here. And you got to imagine, again, too, 39-0 last season. Just trying to find the answers to this Kirtland team, and they're like most people in Division 6 over the course of the past decade and a half. Really tough. Haynes carry up the middle. He's going to get torn down. And Kamey brought him down right away, but not before Haynes was able to move the chains for 11 to 12 yards. But I was saying, it's so tough. It's just, and again, it's not like this team in Kirtland throws the ball 40 times and there's air raid offense, but they're explosive. The running backs are tough to bring down. The defense is solid every season. And it's just so hard to crack through against a team that just does everything like that so well.
It's tough, and they have the bodies, too. They have they're deep in seemingly every position.
First down for the Smithies. Side out, rolling out to his right. Going to take a shot over the middle. That one's going to be... No, incomplete. He waved it off.
Yeah, the far official, I believe.
Yeah, tried to take a shot there. And the ball hit the deck, apparently. Not completed, so it's going to be second down on the way.
Yeah, got the back judge called it. Man, my goodness.
Second down and long. I should say just 10. 43-yard line. Again, Smithville's been able to move the ball around this area. Haynes going to work to the bottom of your screen. He's going to get stood up.
Oh, wow.
Late hit from Kamey. Be careful with that. Good job by Oppenheim to get to Haynes almost immediately there.
Yeah, he read that well. It was great speed. I was just going to say, like, with the blocking, Smithville was able to get, seal it off there on the right side, but didn't matter. Couldn't get to second level.
Haynes couldn't even get past the line of scrimmage there. He actually lost about a yard on the play, so great job by Oppenheim to pull him down. 4 minutes to go in this third quarter. 35-7, and now a 3rd and 11 for the Smithies offense. Right now looking, going to throw, back foot, take a shot down the field. Almost came back and made the catch. Don't see a flag on the play. It was going for a lead, top of your screen, and yeah, right ball as far as throwing a little short because he was covering all the way down the field. He had to come back to get that one, but just a little bit of a miscommunication there. 4th down on the way.
I don't know if you're right, though, but I don't know if I like the spiral. It's just not able to really step in to the throw.
No, if he throws that on target, in stride, it's picked off.
No,
he was covered all the way.
What I'm saying, though, was the spiral was a bit off, too. I'm worried about the ball quality.
Well, hey, you know what? Sophomore quarterback, learning through it. High punt. That one almost went straight up. It's going to bounce around the 43, going to take a Kirtland bounce, or I should say a Smithville bounce to the 35-yard line, and that's where the Hornets will take back over. That ball almost got touched by Kirtland, by the way.
Yeah, I'm telling you got to get out of the way.
Punt the ball a mile in the air. It'd be tough to find it. You mentioned that earlier, the broadcast partner. 3:53 to go. Kirtland with a chance to extend their lead even more here.
Yeah, and again, it happens so quick, too, right? The previous offensive drive where Kirtland scored, I mean, it did not take long for them to move down the field after the interception to score. And Smithville's in danger again of giving that up.
The dominance of Kirtland continuing, winning every game this year by 20 points or more, and maybe on their way right now as it stands to do it again. Handoff. The middle. Not much there.
Defense read it correctly.
Yeah, Bledsoe trying to cut back into the middle of the field and got maybe 2 to 3 yards on that carry.
You saw some of the defenders move up to show blitz on delay blitz. Did good work there.
Blankenship was there on the stop, cutting off Bledsoe, making sure he only got a gain of about 3. It's amazing when you say a 3-yard gain is you'll take it in this game.
You have to.
Just so tough. The running style of Kirtland. The pass, Laverty throwing top of your screen, looking for Kamey over the shoulder. He got it. What a catch. Tommy Kamey down to the 36-yard line.
And because Smithville committed to the blitz again, it was all man across the board. So it was just one-on-one matchups. Honestly, it was kind of surprised, too. It was a defensive pass interference on top of the made catch.
Just an amazing throw and catch to the outside. Concentration, 25-yarder. And it shows Laverty getting back in the swing of things now. 4 of 617 and 2 touchdowns today passing. Can be one of the biggest weapons. Play blown dead. I think a timeout maybe came down on the Kirtland sideline. Yeah, so 2:31 to go in the third quarter. Kirtland driving again. 35-7 right here on CVC TV. Again, third quarter action over at Alumni Stadium. Perry still on top of West Branch, 6-0 the score the Pirates trying to move on to the regional final.
Yeah, that's playoff football. 6-0 in the third quarter. I mean, Kirtland really here in this game, it's kind of similar, kind of what happened last year, where it's like, man, you feel like Smithville's in it. You feel that way. It's not. It's honestly, it's not like they're playing bad football, but it's just a few chunk plays here, a few there, and in the blink of an eye, it just gets away from you.
You watch tape 2 again. When you have the ball inside the Kirtland 40, 30-yard line 3-4 times, you have to finish those drives. Can't leave the door open for Kirtland's defense to make plays and the offense to get back on the field. You hand off up the middle. Not much there this time through.
See, defensively, their success on first down. The issue's been second and third down, where they've been given, and particularly second down, because a lot of these plays, 2nd and 7, turns into 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1.
Sometimes they just convert. But you want to try and force them into 3rd and longs. Kirtland's been really good about not having many penalties. Only 1 penalty today. 2 if you count the unsportsmanlike conduct after the touchdown, but that one didn't really play into the game too much here. They've already passing middle. That one's tipped, and it is intercepted. Intercepted by Smithville off the hands of the receiver and picked off by Brennan Pyatt.
Yeah, that ball came in hot. Rich Ray was not able to catch the hot football, and just a turnover that Smithville needed.
And talk about a possible momentum shift. I mean, that could be the start of one here. A great interception and focus by Pyatt on a tip ball. You never know where it's going to come down, so ready for it. And now, can the Smithies turn the tide here and start getting some points on the board offensively? Defense setting them up. First down keeper, side out the middle, breaks through down to about the 45, 46-yard line. Good game about 8.
And you see how Seidel kind of basically rode Haynes and just kept with the football, and then last second took off, burst of speed, getting that big run.
And again, grand scheme of things, too, with this game for Smithville, you got a sophomore quarterback, so he's going to have plenty of time, and he can use this experience to keep them on a trajectory. But they beat Dalton, the team that's going to be playing, and is playing, obviously, in the other semifinal in this region. Handoff Haynes, top of your screen, trying to find his way through, and Kirtland snuffs that one out. A couple of tacklers in there, including Lucci Cantini, who got there. Perko also went on the stop.
Yeah, Perko just stayed right there. It's like, I got him. You're not going to let him. I'm not letting you go. Not going to let you go there. But you talked about it here. Like, this is a third and short opportunity, and we're at a point of the game where Smithville is going to go for it on 4th down each time. So, got to get the conversion, obviously.
Seidel in the shotgun, going to hand off. Haynes working through near the first down marker. He's going to have it. Past midfield down to about the 49-yard line. Needed 2. They got about 5 and moves the chains.
And again, if you're just joining us, talking about the gentleman who's just ran the ball, Mason Haynes, all-time school record in rushing yards, in his career. That was a tough run for him.
Work his way to the outside and take some Kirtland defenders with him to get that first down, but he did so. And again, the Smithies just trying to build some momentum here. Just under 30 seconds to go in this third quarter. Ball just past midfield. Seidel going to keep it up the middle. Lowers the shoulder. Gets about 3 to 4 yards on that carry.
Got a flag that just came out after the play.
You got to watch. The play's dead, the extracurriculars. Now it looked like maybe a sideline warning. That's what the referee was pointing to originally.
Yeah, if it is a sideline warning, there shouldn't be. It's just a warning. So usually, typically, it's not going to be.
Yeah, there's no actual penalty on there. It's just a warning. So ball's still going to be put 3-yard gain on that run, and that's how we end the third quarter. So we'll let the clock run out there. 1 quarter away, 35-7 the score. As we head into the fourth, Kirtland on top of the Smithies right here on CVC TV. Different game from last year AA. Really, Smithville's been able to show that they can progress the football. Again, on Kirtland's side of the field now. The big question is they may have a couple opportunities here in this fourth quarter. Can they put some pressure on the Hornets and try and close the gap a little bit?
They need to, and they have the capabilities too to do so. But I'll tell you what, defensively, Kirtland in the red zone has been making plays. You know, their guys are in the right spot, and, you know, again, just to that quarter, just getting those turnovers, you know, that's huge. But honestly, though, again, winning second down, winning third down, winning first, like, those are the things that you need to do if you're Smithville here in this drive, no matter how long it takes.
2nd down and 7 in the 45, handoff. Haynes trying to work through. He's going to get stood up. Kirtland will take your pick. A bunch of blue jerseys back there. Saw Treadwell back there. A couple others that just did not let Haynes get anywhere on that carry. He, before progress, still only lost about a yard or two, but he got pushed back about 5 to 6.
So now you're at a point where now Kirtland's starting to lock in on Haynes, of course, but it's important for Haynes to be established. Now you kind of open things up. Again, keep an eye on 20. That's Isaiah Lee. Keep an eye on him.
Yeah, only one catch in this ball game. It happened in the first quarter. Going to be a handoff, bottom of your screen, turning upfield. Going to have the first. Solid carry right there. And we actually don't have a number 9 on the roster there, so young man with a good carry and a first down.
Did a great job there running the football.
First down, Smithies. Inside the 40-yard line of Kirtland. Sounds familiar, it has been. Haynes with the carry up the middle. And taken down about the 35-yard line. 16th carry of the game for Haynes. He's got unofficially about 58 yards on the ground. But again, this is familiar territory. Inside the 40, in Kirtland, on Kirtland's side of the field. This may be the 5th or 6th time they've been able to do this, and the offense just has not been able to get into the end zone.
Wonder at some point they're going to put something over the top, but that's what got them into trouble earlier in the game.
Yeah, Lee, top of your screen. Not going to matter. Handoff, Haynes up the middle. Tackle from behind, but not before he gets another solid gain. Going to set up 3rd and short.
So even from that standpoint, a successful play call. I mean, obviously you kind of wish you got a little bit more of that in the first half, but, you know, this is what you want, like 3rd and shorts. You make Kirtland defensively work to end this drive. Because this is a little bit of work that they're getting right now that they haven't received in a little while defensively.
There's 2 yards. Again, they have that stacked modified I formation. Handoff. It's Lee, top of your screen. Lee trying to use his speed, breaking to the outside. Lee turns the corner. He's going to have the first down and more. Isaiah Lee got all the way down. Inside the 20, down to the 16-yard line. 14-yard gain on the run. And the sophomore making some moves now.
And now you got an offense that Kirtland's defense has to respect, and I love the play call. You know, there again, you have Haynes and Lee in that backfield. You got to anticipate both of them, you know, to run the ball.
And he only has 4 carries, 20 yards, 1 catch, 13 yards. So you got to get Lee the ball more in his hands, too, to make those plays. Well, he hasn't touched it that much. He's been more of an impact player on the defensive end since the first quarter. He's in motion here. Keeper side out the middle. He gets tackled almost immediately through the middle.
Yeah, you saw the offensive line, a couple of the offensive linemen a little frustrated there. Felt like perhaps a block was missed.
So no gain for Seidel up the middle. Going to be 2nd down. Ball in the 17-yard line. Again, back-to-back drives on offense into the Kirtland red zone inside the 20-yard line. And last time it was an interception thrown with the back foot. Amy able to take it back into Smithville territory. So these are something different this time through. Via pass, throwing, back foot. That one is caught, turning upfield. Lee going to have a first, or close to the first down marker. See where they mark him out of bounds. Looked like maybe he was down around the 6.
Looks like the 7 there, Kyle.
Yep, so that should be enough, I believe, for a 1st and goal.
And I like the play. I like the execution there. High percentage play. You get the roll out to the left side. You have your speedster on the flat. It's a high percentage play right there to get the first.
Yeah, so 8:20 to go in the 4th quarter, and timeout called. Kirtland going to call a timeout.
Yeah, because they're getting worn down right now.
Yeah,
I mean, Smithville's been working hard this offensive drive.
And again, the clock's still running. I imagine they're going to stop that and maybe put some more time on it. Ran for another 10, 15 seconds after the timeout was called. But this may be now the best opportunity Smithville's had to try and get some points on the board here. And again, just put a little pressure on Kirtland's defense and offense and try and get back into it. And it's been the progression we've seen. The offense putting some drives together, just not finishing. But got to think if they even finish on half of these possessions, we're talking about maybe a 14-point game here in this moment.
You're right. It's a different football game if they were able to finish on these drives. And again, credit to Kirtland for making those stops. But part of it too is offensive execution or lack thereof. So obviously, this is your if you're Smithville, strongest opportunity. And Kirtland, I like the timeout because they were getting worn down a little bit. Get a good play in to defend, this offense.
All right, 1st and goal. First time we've been able to say that for the Smithies today. They've been in the area, but not close enough. Pass, that one tipped up in the air. One of the linemen maybe caught that, or maybe even Seidel came in and caught his own pass.
I think Seidel caught it.
That's going to count as a catch, by the way, in case anyone's wondering. I don't know if he got any. I think he actually lost a yard on the play. But, hey, you know what? Counts as a completion.
Yeah, it was caught.
The rare.
I think if a lineman would have caught it, that
it would have been a
penalty.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you
what.
what.
That's right. No, not a penalty in high school? Okay.
Oh,
yeah, because of the batted ball.
Nevertheless, Haynes carry up the middle, lowering the shoulder, trying to push through. Going to be brought down around the 5, setting up 3rd and goal.
Yeah, and a lineman could have caught the ball if it would have came down to that because it was a deflected ball. So, it's
trying to take
all
away
systems go.
Take away a catch from one of the big guys. How dare you?
Yeah, how dare me.
Well, nevertheless, Seidel's got the honor of having a catch that he threw.
How about it?
Yeah, so.
Big play, obviously, here. 2 shots to get it to the end zone.
Definitely going to take 2 shots if they can't get it in. Want some positive play here. Seidel going to keep it, cutting through. He's going to get tackled. What a stop on the inside. My goodness, what a hit.
Laverty.
Ugh.
Right there.
The quarterback denying the quarterback. So 4th and goal here. Kirtland's defense has not allowed any points. You're seeing 7 on the board. That was a fumble return in the 1st quarter that Kirtland's offense gave up. The defense has been essentially perfect despite letting up some yardage here and there, but a couple of forced turnovers, a couple interceptions, and no points allowed. That could change, but the Smithies have to buck the trend here with some time to go, 6 minutes in this first half. They're going to call a timeout.
Yeah, that play clock was rolling down, but that seemed intentional. They never broke out of the huddle.
Yes, the both teams with just 1 remaining, 6:12 to go in the contest, 35-7, Kirtland with the lead. It kind of feels like this could be the ball game here. You need a score to obviously make this a 3-score game. Then you need a lot of help. Maybe some onside kicks, maybe some stands on the defensive end. Which, Smithville has shown they can do that on defense. They can force a stop, they can force a punt. They've done that in this game. But Kirtland has been on a roll since that start of the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, they've done that in this playoff run of theirs. But, that timeout, I didn't mind it at all because probably wanted to see the look that Kirtland was going to give you defensively. And then, hey, it's so important, obviously very, very important to get in. Coach Laverty, he's telling his guys too, hey, listen, make sure you're on your guys. Of course, you're watching Haynes. You're watching Lee, who's at the top of the screen, number 20, making sure nobody's caught out on the flat or even the slants.
All right, 4th down and goal. Getting a receiver out there late. Setting up. Gamey had to catch him at the bottom of your screen. Seidel rolling out, looking, buying time, throwing back foot over the head of his intended receiver. That is incomplete. Looking for Lee in the back of the end zone. Couldn't find him. Turnover on downs.
And that's a tough play to make, too, because the defense did a great job forcing the quarterback to roll out, and he had to throw it essentially across his body a little bit, and that ball came out hot. And then turnover on downs.
So Kirtland's defense holds true again deep in their own territory. 3rd time they've turned the ball over on downs tonight. They've had 2 interceptions as well. And the Hornets going to jog back onto the field, protecting that 35-7 lead. The defense has been fantastic. Bend but don't break at its finest that you're seeing tonight.
Defense was tested on that drive, but Kirtland locked in, made the critical stops they needed to.
And Laverty with the big tackle on 3rd down, keeping Seidel from getting any real gain of yardage, keeping it a 5-yard attempt there. Now, going to try and make a play, running the ball, top of your screen. That is Bledsoe with the carry. He got a solid gain, too. Yeah, roughly about 7 yards.
Yeah, and that was not just a great run, too, but, we don't talk about them enough. It's my fault. It's like this offensive line, the multiple guys that is blocking for these backs are just studs, all of them.
And the 2nd down, handoff, top of your screen. That was Silvestro, I believe, who got the carry. Haven't seen or heard his name called, but he moves the chains. He did that a lot in the first half.
Yeah, he did that a ton.
They kind of gave Bledsoe the 3rd quarter.
There you see both of them there. 3, Bledsoe, Silvestro, number 4. They're in that backfield. And every defense that faces Kirtland has to account for both of those guys on the ground.
Of course, I did speak too soon. Silvestro does have a rushing touchdown in the 2nd half. But now approaching almost 150 yards on the ground today. The keeper, Laverty going to the outside, cutting back, trying to gain some more yards. Look at Laverty go. He gets tripped up at the 37-yard line. Jake Laverty, 14 yards and a 1st down. My goodness.
Jake Laverty is saying when he watches this broadcast back, it's like, Mr. Announcer, you forgot to mention me as a running threat. Again, he had to get solid blocking up front. So all 3 of these backs are getting to 2nd level either through broken tackles or just blocking, opening up the holes for them.
The ball on the 37-yard line, not the 42. Just want to point that out here. Pitch to the outside. That's going to be taken in. And, breaking through. Huge run. Silvestro spinning down, trying to get to midfield. Going to be stopped just short. Gain of about 11 to 12 and another 1st down.
And he had great blocking up front again. Your left tackle, your left guards, they are opening things up, for all of these backs here to close this game out.
Just taking control of the offense, dominating time of possession now, too, even though despite the Smithies able to put some drives together, Kirtland just feels like they've had the ball for longer. Again, another update over from Alumni Stadium. 4th quarter, still 6-0 Perry on top of West Branch. Trying to see if we can get 2 CVC teams into the regional finals yet again. Perry trying to march their way through. The handoff on the inside.
Got a couple defenders, might be slow to get up.
Gain of 4 for Bledsoe. 140 yards unofficially on the ground tonight for Silvestro. Bledsoe just under 80 yards on the ground. Laverty's got over 115 yards passing and nearing 70 yards on the ground in his own right. Handoff, Silvestro just bowling his way through down to the 36-yard line. 12 more yards for John Silvestro.
And those are what I refer to as championship runs. I mean, you're in the fourth quarter, you're closing the game out against a tough opponent, and you're running hard, and I think all the starters are going to be subbed out for Kirtland.
A chance now to get some other guys some playing time as we're at 2.5 minutes to go in the ball game. Silvestro eclipsed 150 yards on the ground, had a score. Bledsoe a couple touchdowns. Their handoff on the inside. Spinning through, still on his feet. It's Matt Russ. Saw him make a play on special teams, had a big hit earlier in the game.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Getting some carries on the offensive end. Haynes actually got the stop.
Well, again, for Smithville, this has been a highly successful season, of course. You know, their first time they've won 10 games since 2004. Their first regional semifinal appearance in 10 seasons.
And building. Two of their core players, sophomores. You're going to see Isaiah Lee and Brady Seidel next year for sure, a couple years now, a chance to grow. Handoff, good stop in the backfield. This is Matt Schweinfurth who got the carry there. Lost a few. The Kirtland as well. I mean, this has been the trend all season long, AA, just finding ways to just enforce their will on teams they've played, and it's going to be another 20-plus point win for a team that just really hasn't been challenged that much. Smithville tried today, and the offense puts a little bit of pressure on the defense, but just not in the form of points.
They gave it an opportunity, but this is what they do. They do a great job continuing to build on this playoff run.
The player two should wrap it up. The pitch, working back through the middle. What a fantastic game for Kirtland, as they are going to get the job done. The play clock and the game clock separated by a few seconds, so that will be it. The final score going to be 35-7. Kirtland is going to advance to another regional final. Smithville had some good moments in the game. AA showed a lot of potential for the future, and this could be a matchup we see for multiple years ahead down the road because of the youth of the Smithies. But Kirtland just too much for Smithville to overcome.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, real quick on Smithville, we mentioned again 10 wins for the first time since 2004. First regional semifinal appearance since 2015. And their head coach, Phil Olson, his 5th year, he went to Smithville. He actually competed in the state title game for Smithville back in 2002. So they got the right guy and the right coaching staff to lead this team, and they're building a great culture. With that being said, for Kirtland, all those opportunities we talked about with Smithville moving down the field, it wasn't that the offense didn't move at all. They were moving down the field, and they have a couple of red zone trips. But each and every single time, Kirtland defensively stepped up, either got the turnover on downs or the flat out the turnover, the interceptions. And, you know, Kirtland defensively handled business, and then offensively hand the ball to anybody running the football or keeping yourself if you're Jake Laverty, and you'll be set and ready for success.
Well, sometimes the regular season stats hold true. Kirtland allowed 6.9 points per game this season. They actually came up a little bit short when it came to that. They allowed 7 today.
They slipped up.
But nevertheless, again, 35-7 is your final. They're going to await the winner of Sugar Creek, Garraway, and Dalton in the Division 6 Region 21 final. I'm curious to see who can come out of that one. Dalton, of course, 9-3 season. They're a perennial final 16 member. You see them a lot. Garraway as well in that group. Kirtland familiar with both of those opponents, so we'll see who comes down the wire on that end. Of course, one more score update. And make sure you stay tuned to ChagrinValleyConference.com as we'll have updates. Close game over at Alumni Stadium, 6-0. Perry still on top of West Branch. The Warriors making the trip up to Perry tonight. So that's going to be interesting to see how that one all shakes out, too.
Real quick, one thing to mention, in the Kirtland Hornets stat crew, they do an unbelievable job helping us with the broadcast, everyone with media. Kirtland's going to advance to the regional championship for an Ohio record of 16 consecutive seasons. 16 years in this round, and then in the regional semifinals, 16 years in the regional final. The last time they lost in the regional final was against Cuyahoga Heights in 2016.
Well, one of those two teams I mentioned before, Garaway or of course, the opponent they had. I mean, it's going to be one of those two. Talk about Garaway, you talk about Dalton. It's going to be one of those two teams that they could see in that matchup. And number 2, Kirtland, by the way, trying to go to their 8th straight state title game. Think about that, too, in the grand scheme of things, the dominance here in Division 6.
We have a score update of interest for Kirtland fans.
Oh, my goodness. 18-16 in the fourth quarter, Garaway on top of Dalton.
Courtesy of Big Z Sports.
Wow.
On Twitter for that.
So some close games all throughout the area. Not here tonight, though. The final again, 35-7. And I think when you look at the grand scheme of the game, I mean, Silvestro set the tone.
Yes, he did.
Now, Bledsoe scored the touchdowns. He had a couple of those scores, but John Silvestro going to be your CVC TV player of the game tonight. Laverty obviously had a great game in his own right. The interception was off the hands of his receiver, Ridgway, so it wasn't really technically his fault. But Silvestro, when you have that kind of run game with that kind of talent, it just sets the tone for your offense, kept them afloat when there were some concerns in the first and early part of that second quarter. John Silvestro, your CVC TV player of the game. Double A, your final thoughts on the game tonight.
Again, Kirtland, this is they're just used to being here in this round. I see the seniors right now are taking the final photo. This is their final game here at Wilson Stadium. Of course, they were the class really to introduce the new field here in Kirtland, converting from grass to turf, much to the dismay of Tiger Laverty. Remember that conversation we had about a year or two ago. But, yeah, Kirtland, on the go. The one thing they have to correct, the one thing, they got to stop fumbling the football. That's the only, because there's going to be a team down the road, and Kirtland knows this. If they don't take care of the football, there's going to be a team that's going to make them pay.
Well, they're going to be able to finish those drives, and then you can't give them another extra possession to score like that happened, because it will be a close game. And we've seen that in the state semifinal, state championship game. Those level of teams will finish those drives. They will not drive the ball 60 yards down the field and stall out and not be able to finish. They've got the experience to get there. It's going to be a different kind of ball game when you get to that point. And this team isn't too far away from being one of those teams that will finish those drives. The youth they have, it's not too far away.
Listen, if you're a Smithville fan, watching our broadcast, you got a good football team. You do. You have a really solid football team, great kids, great coaching staff. It's tough because it's playoffs and only 7 teams finish the playoffs with a title. But these kids work really hard. The first 2 rounds, both games went down to the wire. This third game, didn't go their way, but they got a great, solid team. It's just Kirtland is just on another level right now, and that's just across the board, across the state of Ohio.
12-0 on the season now for the Kirtland Hornets. Smithville drops to 10-3, but 2 playoff wins this season for the Smithies. Nothing to hang their head about. Again, the final score 35-7. This may be it, partner. I think we may be possibly done here.
Yeah, we'll of course Spectrum will we'll get updates on Monday, but usually when we get to the regional final round, this might be when Spectrum takes over the Holy Grail here. So we got one final score update.
And the Pirates over at Perry pulling up 14-0 now on West Branch. They score another touchdown and get a 2-point conversion. So they are up 2 scores in the fourth quarter, closing in on their own regional final, possibly against either Glenville or Mentor Lake Catholic, which will be a very fun matchup either way to happen in the regional final over in Division 4.
Our crew this year has done an unbelievable job. Our production crew has been phenomenal. Of course, Max, Locke, Jacob has been with us as well. Joey's joining us here late. He's doing a great job. They're pounding their fists. Of course.
Settle down, guys. Settle down.
All right, that's enough. No, but our production team, and of course, our quarterback, Pete. Don't shake your head there. He does a good job. Peter Tullup doing a great job. Of course, 6 years of CVC TV And it's just amazing being able to bring these games each and every single week. So I don't know. Again, we might have one more game next week, but if not, again, another great football season. And I'm so happy to share it for the 3rd straight year with you, Kyle, as our voice of the CVC TV. And we've seen some unbelievable football this year.
Well, when it comes to star status, I'm like the 2 out of 10, and AA is like the 11. So he's the one that brings all the star power. I'm just here to make you guys hopefully enjoy the game. And again, the final one more time from Wilson Stadium, 35-7. Kirtland gets the job done. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this is our last game this year, we appreciate you guys hanging out through 13 weeks of high school football. Saw a lot of great things. Obviously, Kirtland make another run. We saw Fairview win their first ever playoff game in school history. Saw Perry reestablish themselves after a gruesome injury on this field earlier this year. What a year it's been.
We saw Savion Harris from Fairview win the defensive player, play of the game of the season for Fox 8.
It was a crazy season, of course, and the CVC was featured throughout it. We appreciate, again, you guys for tuning in. Until next time, obviously, basketball season just a few short weeks, months away. I know it's already kind of getting underway, and we'll have those games for you coming up in the CVC as well. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you maybe next time here on CVC TV.
See ya.
Now again in the shotgun, looking to pass, rolling to his right, throws. That one's going to be intercepted. Laverty by himself, looking to pass, throws, takes a shot, right side. It's caught, and he's gone. Tommy Kamey goes in.
Point.
Your handoff, Silvestro up the middle this time, lowering the shoulder, pushing through. And the ball came out, was picked up by the Smithies, going back upfield, breaking through its lead. He got it. Touchdown. Liberty giving off, handoff inside, and he's in. The under center turns, hands off, Bledsoe, he's in. The fake pitch, keeper looking to pass, throws, back foot, that one's intercepted. Intercepted, Kamey makes up for the pass interference. He turns upfield, Kamey still has the ball. He's still going. Kamey, bottom of your screen, one man to beat is Haynes, and he'll force him out at the 40. Ryan Kamey was
saw the replay.
And the pressure right there as Silvestro runs on the right side, still on his feet, going to be torn down through, but not until he gets in. Touchdown, John Silvestro. Too much here. Laverty passing middle, that one's tipped, and it is intercepted. Intercepted by Smithville off the hands of the receiver.